Well, tonight we continue our series, Campaign Promises. Yesterday we touched on the economy, but tonight we are going to talk about where the candidates stand on immigration. All
right, Fox 5 Sharon Crowley here once again. She talked with voters to get the pulse of the people on these important issues. Sharon.
Well, as you guys know, we're in a city of immigrants, right? So, of course, it's easy to understand why New Yorkers have plenty of opinions about immigration. Voters sounding off to me about what's happening at the border and about asylum seekers living here now. Now, while these voters held pretty different opinions, they all agreed on one thing. They want the next president to do something to improve things when it comes to immigration.
Everybody deserves a shot.
It's never been like this. You know, you see, homeless people and migrants and people getting robbed and pushed and walk down the street, they're grabbing pocketbooks.
They have to come up with an immigration deal and reasonable ways for people to stay here legally. There's so many wonderful immigrants here who have contributed so much.
They come here, they have nothing, and they're given a place to live, a phone, and money.
It's an issue for me because I'm not from here. I'm from Barbados, so it means something to me.
Immigration is on the ballot this year. Voters in both parties want to know what candidates plan to do about it. Concerns heightened by a surge in border crossings and the busing of migrants to places like New York City.
And we have seen immigration rise as a concern nationally, mostly bubbling up from Republicans. And it really peaked after December when the migrant situation at the border hit record levels. But it's continued to be high. And so we continue to see Republicans particularly concerned about the issue, more so than even in 2016, when in that election Donald Trump made immigration an issue.
Lydia Saad is the director of U.S. social research at the Gallup poll.
I think they support immigration. They think immigration has been a good thing for the country. They don't support illegal immigration. They want to see people come into the country through legal means. But once they get here, that's where you find more partisan split in terms of Republicans in favor of sending people back, Democrats and independents less so.
Now the border is 25 times worse than it was in 2016. Now the border is not even believable what's happening. And I want to be known as your border president. I'm going to be known as your border president.
Former President Donald Trump made illegal immigration central to his first run for office in 2016. If elected again, Trump promises to seal the border, start mass deportations of illegal immigrants, and demolish foreign drug cartels.
We must also reform our broken immigration system and protect our dreamers and understand we can do both. Create an earned pathway to citizenship and ensure our border is secure. We can do both, and we must do both.
Vice President Kamala Harris, under President Biden, was assigned to examine the root causes of the border crisis. She promises to reform the immigration system by going after drug cartels and human traffickers. She also supports deploying more detection technology to intercept fentanyl at the border. The northern and southern borders may be many miles from New York City, but it's clear this election, immigration hits close to home, and voters will be weighing how these candidates promise to handle it before casting a ballot in November. Is immigration a voting issue for you? Is it anything you'd consider when going to the polls?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it definitely is the major issue.
And is this an issue that you'll be voting on when you go to the polls in November?
Absolutely.
So as I was saying, traditionally the issue of immigration tends to be something that voters in border states focused on. But once migrants started being bused here to New York City, it became a top concern for voters here. And it has remained one, although a number of migrants, of course, has subsided from its peak. But it is still a pretty big issue for New York City voters.
Yeah, no doubt.
When you kind of look at it, you can kind of see Trump is ahead of Kamala in terms of the border. But is she able to creep back up and catch him where he's at, if not beat him?
She has made some headway in recent weeks, and she's trying to cut further into his lead on this issue. Voters think that Trump has a better handle on immigration than she does. Yeah. So she is going to the border of Arizona and Mexico on Friday. As you know, Trump has already been there multiple times.
Good deal. All right. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks.